So on the first slide, we have the country flag. As you can see, it is a horizontal flag with equal bands of royal blue and crimson red. And then there is a white equilateral triangle. Inside of this triangle is a yellow sun with 8 rays, and each of these rays represent a Philippine province. There are also 3 stars in each quarter of this triangle, and these stars represent the 3 main islands of the country: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. A unique fact about the flag is that it can be used to indicate that there is a state of war if it is displayed with the red side on top. This can be shown if the flag is flipped upside down. On this slide, I've got 2 different maps of the Philippines. So the one off to the left is a map of the Philippine Islands, and the one off to the right is a map where the Philippine Islands are located within the world. I found 3 major attractions that piqued my interest in the Philippines. The first one included the Tubataha Reef, the Puerto Princesa Underground River, and the Chocolate Hills. The reef is located in the Sulu Sea, which is one of the most popular dive sites in the Philippines. The park itself is open to live board diving excursions between the months of April to June, when the waves are most calm. And then the river is one of the world's most unique natural phenomena, and it's located on the northern coast of the island of Palau. And then the Chocolate Hills are unusual geological formations that consist of at least 1,268 individual mountains or hills scattered throughout the interior of the island of Bohol. There is no actual chocolate located on these hills. They get their name because during the dry season, all of the grass turns brown. A couple of key facts about the Philippines. The capital is Manila. The size is roughly 300,000 square kilometers, and that's including all 7,107 islands. There are 107,827,538 people in the Philippines. There are hundreds of volcanoes scattered throughout the Philippines. Their 3 most active volcanoes include Mount Pinatubo, the Taal volcano, and the Mayon volcano. The government in the Philippines is republic with a presidential form, so similar to the United States. They do have 3 branches. It's the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Brief history on the Philippines. In 1941, there was the bombing of Pearl Harbor. That was not in the Philippines, obviously, but the Philippines were attacked about 10 hours after the bombing. And then in 1942, the fall of Bataan and the Death March did happen. And then on April 12th, 1942, Japan killed about 400 Filipino officers in Bataan. In 1945, the liberation of the Philippines was declared, and then in 1946, the Philippines gained independence from the United States. And I have a picture off to the right here of the bells of Balangiga. These bells were taken from the Philippines in 1901 by U.S. troops. They were kept at F.E. Warren Air Force Base here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, up until 2018 when they were returned to the Philippines. The religion in the Philippines is Christian. They are the only Christian nation in Asia, and 86% of them are Roman Catholic. 6% belong to the nationalized Christian cults. 2% belong to over 100 Protestant denominations. About 4% are of Muslim minority, and about 2% follow non-Western indigenous beliefs and practices. A couple of facts on customs in the Philippines. The Philippines are more westernized than any other Asian country. Many customs are similar to those found in Spain, the United States, or Latin America. People do take pride in hospitality in the Philippines. They go out of their way to help visitors or take them to their destinations. It is important to recognize the positions of others and use full titles and full names when introducing or referring to other people in the Philippines. Sometimes Filipinos do get the attention of one another by making eye contact and raising and lowering their eyebrows. When one places his or her hand on the forehead of another person, that is a sign of respect. There are 8 major languages spoken in the Philippines. They include Tagalog, Bicol, Cebuano, Hiligaynon, Ilocano, Waray. A lot of what I was finding was that some of these languages do look similar to the Spanish language. On this slide, I have a map of which language is spoken in which region of the Philippines. And then I've got 3 pictures that show the writing of the different languages. So at the bottom here, I've got Mahal Kita, and that means I love you in Tagalog. A couple of the sports played in the Philippines include basketball, boxing, volleyball, pool, squash, and soccer. This picture off to the right here is a picture of 2 people playing squash, and squash is basically just racquetball. It's a sport played by 2 or 4 players in a 4-walled court with a small rubber ball. And then the players must alternate in striking the ball with their rackets onto one of the 4 walls. The holidays in the Philippines include the Festival of the Black Nazarene, Ati-Atian, the Sinulog Festival, the Mascara Festival, and Christmas. And off to the right here, I have a picture of some Filipino kids participating at the Mascara Festival. The currency in the Philippines is called the Philippine peso, and that began with the Spanish dollar. And then 1 US dollar is equal to 52 Filipino pesos. The business etiquette, customs, and practices in the Philippines are similar to what you could find in the United States or even Spain. For business meetings, it's not uncommon to make arrangements a month ahead of time, and then you do always want to confirm the date by phone a few days prior to the meeting. It is customary to offer a business card first, and depending on your rank or title, if it's not comparable or higher to the Filipino recipient, then you might not get a business card in return. When presenting your business card, you do want to do it face up with both hands. And then handshakes are the most common form of greetings in the Philippines. You do want to make eye contact, but you don't want to do it too intensely. And then titles are important in the Philippines. You want to address anyone in the Philippines by their professional title, or Mr., Miss, or Mrs., followed by the surname. Filipinos are pretty flexible with their times. Meetings could be scheduled at a certain time and they might be started later than agreed. As someone visiting the Philippines, you do want to arrive on time, not later. During business meetings, light refreshments are served. You do always want to accept anything offered to you, as it can be offensive if you decline. The dress code for business meetings in the Philippines is conservative. Men are expected to wear dark colored suits with shirts or ties, and women are expected to wear business suits or dresses. If you are giving a gift to a Filipino colleague, you do want to make sure it is beautifully packaged. Gift giving isn't common in the Philippines, but if you do, books, small electronics, and items unique to your own country are good gifts to give. For negotiations, you do want to be modest. Don't be pushy. Emphasize the benefits your company can offer, but don't expect an answer so soon. The major imports of the Philippines include electronic products, mineral fuels, transport equipment, iron, steel, plastic, and medical supplies. Exports include electrical machinery, fruits and nuts, gems and precious metals, coppers, ships and boats, mineral fuels including oil. And then the major trading partners for the Philippines include China, Japan, Taiwan, the United States, Singapore, South Korea, the Netherlands, Germany, and Thailand. The GDP in the Philippines was $313.6 billion US in 2017, expected to reach $330 billion in 2020. The GDP in the Philippines averaged $77.31 billion from 1960 until 2017. And in 2017, it did reach an all-time high, and then the all-time low of $4.4 billion was hit in 1962. The unemployment in the Philippines was lower than 5.2% in March of 2019. In 2000, unemployment hit an all-time high of 13.90% and a record low in 2016 at 4.7%. The inflation rate in the Philippines eased to 3.0% in April of 2019. The inflation rate had been at an all-time high in 1984 at 62.8% and at an all-time low in 1959 at negative 2.1%. A couple of cultural insights as far as doing business in the Philippines. The business culture is hierarchical. The person with the highest status approves all final decisions. Verbal agreements are adhered to on a basis of trust, and for Filipinos to avoid directly saying no, they may respond with bahala na, which translates to God's will or fate. These last couple of slides, I am just showing my references. And thank you for watching my presentation.